Hello, and welcome by this new episode of our Survival Let's Play. I'm Satay Noodle, and today we will actually be working on the road between the library and the chest room. And we will start working on the upper floor here. That will be the house of AJ and myself, which I'm really excited for to get a bit more into interior decorating. That isn't something I've done a lot before, so I'm really excited for that. But for this road, as you can already see in my inventory, I want to use the same box as we used over there by the temporary house, which we will also sadly have to remove this episode because, well, this is a bit of spoiler alert. For next episode, I want to start working on a docking area there, and that also means there'll have to be more space for houses and shops and all that kind of stuff. So sadly, this house will have to go. It has served us a lot in the first episodes, but all things have to come to an end, eventually, sadly. But first, this road. Um, there is something we do have to look at because, well, it is going in kind of a curve, obviously, but we have the chest room, which is one block higher because I thought having a bit of like dimension or something would be really nice. Um, but now I'm actually questioning it because it's quite difficult for terrain things to make it look good, but also kind of city-like, but also still really nice and kind of organic, but also not too organic. And that's just a bit chaotic. So I'm definitely thinking we take this down, and then I thought maybe we could have stairs running up here, and then maybe remove this layer of dirt and have it in kind of a stone layer. I'm not quite sure if that is something I like and if it's going to work, but I guess we can try that out. I'm going to see if just plain cobblestone will look best for the foundation, or if we have to use deep slate like we used down the bottom layer and there. So that's something we can focus on later. But first I'm going to flatten this terrain out a little bit more and clear out a bit of space for this road, which will probably cost my diamond shovel, but that's okay, we'll just make a new one. Let's go and do this. Okay, so I have cleared out a bit of land and indeed got a new shovel. But so far the road is a bit wide. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it that wide, but that does mean we have some space for perhaps a little bench here and some other decorations here, which I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but I think it'll be something nice. We'll probably come up with something. Maybe we can make sure the planter boxes are a bit bigger. Maybe add another tree, or as I said, a bench. But I think that's going to be really nice. But first, let's start with the road. I'm not quite sure how I want to do this. I think just putting down stuff and then kind of mixing it as we go. It's really just kind of doing it and then seeing what will happen. So I'm going to try something out and then do it a little bit of a time lapse, I guess. Let's go. Okay, so I played around a little bit, as you could probably just have seen, and I'm not quite sure if I like the tough with it in a larger scale. I think it looked better over there when it was a bit smaller and the kind of color change didn't show as much. It kind of blended in a little. Okay, hello, dolphin. It blended in a little bit better, I think. I also used it more scarcely. Oh, I also used smooth stone, which is probably also a reason why it doesn't really look the same. So I'm going to try and switch out the tuff for smooth stone and gravel to see if that'll look a little bit better. And then I'll be back with you if I have a proper idea what it's going to be. So I changed out all the tuff for normal stone, and I think that does look a bit better. The cobblestone still adds a bit of like noise to it, which I do like. Um, I also really need something to differentiate or like have a kind of border between the road and the grass. But I'm not quite sure what I want to do with that yet, to be completely honest. So I'm going to have to figure that out eventually, but that'll come. That's something we'll have to worry about later, not now. For now though, it is time to figure out what we want to do with this. I do have a bit of cobblestone left. I don't think that's enough. But that's at least something to try and see how that'll look. Let's see. Oh, that's not the good one. And there it is gone. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I guess that could work. I think. I'm not quite sure actually, but I think that might work. I'm going to see how that looks with the entirety of it, or at least the front of it. I'm not quite sure what I want to do here yet. Perhaps it'll kind of like go down gradually. But for now, I'm going to do it on the front and maybe add a little bit of a nice staircase that comes out a little bit. And I'm going to see how that looks. But I think that'll work. Maybe we'll have to change it when the road comes up to it, so it because it blends in too much. But for now, I think that'll work. So I'm going to get more cobblestone and see what this will look like. I actually was just thinking of something. Why don't we just lower these planter boxes and then make this not a barrel or just a stripped log, and then we have nice planter boxes. We can put in some taller flowers, and then we also have a kind of a nice distinction of the ground and the building without it looking too strange with the cobblestone. Yeah, I think I actually do quite like that quite better. We're going we're going with the planter boxes. That is the ever-changing mind of Noodle. Okay, so I put in the planter boxes and made a staircase and just put in some bone meal to get kind of an idea of how it would look like if it wasn't so flat. And I'm not going to lie to you, I am really loving it. It's finally starting to feel like a little place that's actually livable and aren't just two big buildings in the middle of nowhere. And I am really, really, really happy with it. It's going to be absolutely amazing, especially if there are more buildings around and if eventually here the docking area is complete and then it's starting to get like a continuous road and it's going to be absolutely amazing. I can feel it. So for the outside, I think we are done for now because this is something I'll have to think about and talk about with AJ because she also has amazing ideas most of the time. Um, most of the time, sometimes they aren't as great, but we don't have to tell her that. Hi AJ, if you're watching. So I think it is time we took down the little house there and finally said goodbye to a time past, which is really sad. It's kind of difficult. I'm really, really sentimental, but the time has come, and we can't hold on to everything our entire lives. Sadly, to be honest, and at least we have video material of it, of how it looked. So let's get our time lapse going of taking it down with maybe editing Noodle, putting a sad song under it. Let's go. And then the only signs that there was ever a house here are the weirdly shaped leaves and the sad hanging floating sign that says the old house and bonjour. It's kind of sad, but that'll have to go too, and then it's officially gone. That's so weird. In the time lapse, you also perhaps could have seen the disastrous state cows and sheep are in. Um, I know it's absolutely terrible. I will change that when we have a proper farm for that, which isn't really going to happen anytime soon. But they'll get better places. I promise you, they will get a better home. Just not now. All we have to do now, however, is clean up this mess and sort out the infantry because apparently we used a lot of wood and materials in our first starter base. So let's get that cleared out and remove the leaves too so we can officially see what terrain actually lies here. What a space we have now. It's so weird to see it empty, but I think eventually when we flatten it out a little bit and have our docking area here, our little harbour, I think it will just the frames are so terrible because of the amount of mobs here. But I think it will be perfect if we put like a fishing shop here and perhaps a little boat reparation station. I'm not sure how it's called, but like the place you go to get your boat repaired or get a boat. I don't know. I think it'll be really good. But now we have a storage system, room, chest room idea, but we don't have a proper home because the top floor is still completely empty. Which means we will have to get AJ here and discuss how we want our house to look. Because if I'm going to have to live with AJ and AJ has to live with me, the house better look nice and suitable for the both of us. So let's get AJ here and see what we will do with it. So sadly, AJ won't be able to make it this episode, which we really miss her, of course. But that does mean that a few days have passed, and I've actually come to think about what I want to do here in the border areas that haven't really been filled in yet. I wanted to make a little bench here because making another planter box when there are already planter boxes directly next to the house kind of feels too much or something. So I think a nice bench is really nice. And I was thinking that, ooh, maybe we could. Okay, thank you, game. We could make it like this, and then have a little sign on each side. A really simple bench, but I think it does look. Oh, that one has to go then. I think it does look really nice. It would be amazing if we could actually put it on a diagonal and it would look great, but sadly that isn't really the case with stairs, is it? So that's we'll have to do with that. And then I want to extend this planter box and kind of push it this way and add some leaves and flowers and all that kind of stuff. And I was also thinking we can't just have this entire road be lit up by just these lanterns outside. I mean, they're nice, but they shouldn't light up the entire road. And with that, I mean, we need lanterns, like proper street posts. Um, so I've been looking on Pinterest for ideas and I have found some nice ones. So I'm going to gather the materials and then we can build them together. Okay, so I have all the blocks ready for the lamppost we need. Sadly, I couldn't find the username of the person who made the lamppost and posted it on Pinterest. So, otherwise I could have given credit, but sadly that's not the case. Um, I am thinking, however, that this might be a nice place to put it because then it isn't too close to the bench or to the flower bed that we're going to make. So let's see. First, we're going to start with some chiseled stone bricks. Now, the question is, do I want it to line up with this pillar or do I want it one to the side? I'm not quite sure actually. I think we're just going to start here and see how it goes. Then a stone brick wall and, ooh, no, this one can go and we can use, oh, that's not what I want. It's going absolutely marvelous already. And then we want a spruce fence on top of that. And then let's see if we can do, ooh, that's a bit of parkour. Okay, well, it's good. I'm not a parkour champion. We'll just use some stairs to get up. And we place another stone brick wall on top. And then the last stair can go not that way. We want it to face, I don't need that one. We can just go up this and do it there. And then we can put those gates. Oh, that's also obviously taller than one block. It's also difficult. Why does it have to be this difficult? That's why I mostly don't build things in normal time, because it doesn't go smooth most of the time. But let's see. Then we have it like this, and do I have why was it doing so difficult? I just have scaffolding on me. Just one, ooh, one taller. That's not one, but that's good too. And then we just put a what's it called? Trapdoor there, some slabs there, and then another trapdoor like this, and then we go down. Okay, thank you, game. And just place a lantern here. Remove. The game is quite laggy today. Remove the scaffolding, and there we have a lantern. I'm going to keep it here for a while and see how I like it, or if I want to change the position of it. But I do quite like it actually. I think it looks really nice. Um, and it's definitely a lot better than something I could have come up with myself. Uh, so thank you, person who put it on Pinterest and gave me the marvelous idea to build it and incorporate it in this street. Now, for the flower bed, I should have had my, what's it called? Stone slabs. I don't know where they're here. I'm going to get my materials too. Okay, so the flower bed, I want to. I'm just going to keep using ooh, the stone slabs until I've actually decided what I want to use for it. Um, so let's see how. I think it should be semi organically shaped, not too rigid. Something like this. This is we can remove that one and leave it a bit more like diagonal or something. I don't know. We'll see. Now the question is, do I want it to line up to the building or want it to be separate? I'm going to try both things. And then this can go like this, I guess. And then we can remove the ones here. And then we have like a big planter box idea. I do think I want some leaves around here. It's kind of just doing it, seeing what looks nice. Um, Maybe some here. Then it's like one big bush there. I think I do want to still incorporate some red roses like we did by the old house that sadly isn't here anymore. Um, but then we have this, and maybe we should actually incorporate some smaller flowers. I was thinking maybe some of those peonies too, but I think that's too much. I think we should keep those for another time. And then we can put this one here. Would it be too weird to have them on the same row? I don't think so. Or just one there. Then it's kind of blocking that one. See, this is what I mean. It's such like trial and error kind of thing to do this. But it is really nice. So I don't know. Maybe do we want one there? We could just. Okay, the game is really glitchy. I think we should actually incorporate some smaller flowers and a bit more bone meal. So let's see how that will look. Well, that's quite cute actually. It's nothing too fancy. Oh, not that those ones couldn't be outside, of course. But I think it looks kind of nice. It's nothing too special, but maybe how would it look if we just put one there? So it's a bit taller. Yeah, I quite like that. I think that's quite nice. It's nothing special, as I said, but it is something, and I think it looks quite cute for now. Obviously, we do actually need a bit of lighting here too, I think. Maybe eventually we can use like sea lanterns or glowstone or like something else. I don't know, or just some lanterns, of course, we put down somewhere. But for now, I do think that's kind of nice actually. I don't hate that, which is something. I actually think the purple and the red is kind of cute. So I'm going to keep that for now. So this is definitely becoming a really, really nice street. I'm really, really starting to love this. At first, when just the two buildings were there, I was kind of skeptical that it was going to look nice. But now with the road in and all the decorations, it's really, really becoming a cute little space. Can you imagine how it would look if there are more buildings here and just all the streets going all the directions? And it's just going to be so, so nice, especially because all the buildings are going to be used because they all incorporate something we need in this survival world, which I'm really excited for. I really like this. Even though AJ wasn't able to make it this episode, I did kind of start on the top floor of the storage room. You can see the I believe that's Anthony through the window there. But I did make a kind of start here. I put in some support beams. I finally made a proper staircase, and I kind of was thinking about where everything could go. I think this will be the main living room idea. I'm not sure how much the living room is going to be used, but that's okay. It's decoration is also really nice. We love that. And this will probably be one or two bedrooms for the both of us. Of course, AJ in her purple bed, and I finally made my pink bed. Pink is my entire personality, if that wasn't already clear. So I'm really happy I finally have my pink bed. But this is going to be, I think, kind of a longer project than I actually intended it to be. Um, Last episode, I went to start on it, didn't happen. This episode, I really wanted to work on it, didn't happen, or kind of sort of. I kind of started it, but it isn't done how I wanted it to be. So maybe next episode I'll be a bit further, but I don't think it'll be completely done then either. But that's okay. I kind of like longer projects, so that's really fun, and we can see how I'm growing with just interior decorating, which I don't really do often. So that's kind of nice to start doing that too. But I think this will be all for today's episode. I haven't really edited, so I'm not quite sure how long it is. I think it's kind of a more of a shorter, slower one, but that's okay. We did quite something actually, even though it probably didn't really show. We decorated the outside here of the street. We destroyed our old home, and we were just kind of fiddling around to see what would work, which I'm also really happy about. In the meantime, I also made a second street lamp, which is really nice, and it really ties in the street a little bit more, especially if it continues that way. I really liked it. I hope you did enjoy it too. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you would want to get updated whenever a new episode is posted and we can continue on this city. Next episode, I hope we can tackle an ocean monument. it's really close. I'm not quite sure if we're ready for that, but it'll be fun, something more adventurous if you're into that. And maybe get a start on the harbor or do another building project because I really like building. But thank you very much for watching, and until next time.